6 months ago, I did a video showing the TDM car collection and you guys really enjoyed it. But fast forward a few months and we've absolutely locked in at TDM and picked up some amazing pieces that I cannot wait to show you, including the most exciting and most expensive car yet. So stick around till the end of the video to see what is underneath that cover. So we're going to start with a car that's not actually ours, and it's the only one that unfortunately doesn't deserve a TDM plate. This is the McLaren 600 LT Spider, and it's a courtesy car for Cam's 812 Superfast. So we've had this for probably 2 months now because the 812 is getting some work done, and to be honest, it's actually pretty cool. We've dailied it because, you know, it's not our car, we can put the miles on it, right? But it's actually been pretty fun. It's very loud, the exhaust right behind you, it pops and bangs, shoot flames. Honestly, I can't complain, it's a pretty cool car. Up next, the TDM2. This is our M2 competition that is now an M2 Club Sport. We spent 25 grand making this thing an absolute beast on track, from the brakes to the carbon panels to the seats to the half roll to the exhaust. It's an absolute weapon on track, and I've thoroughly enjoyed racing this around pretty much every track in the UK over the last couple of months. So much so that we've now got a race car on order that will be in the next video, so stay tuned for that. The only thing is, this car has seemed to pick up rather a lot of bird poo along its life. But enough of the bird poo. How cool is the carbon spoiler? But you know what's even cooler than the carbon spoiler? This absolute beast, the whale tail. We got this as a trophy because, look, we've slayed enough whales in our time to deserve a whale tail. And I actually think this is the best ass of every car that we've got here. This is like the Iranian BBL of car rear ends. And not only does this thing have the best rear end of the entire fleet, but look at this shot from the front. You can stand up straight in it. I actually think this is probably the coolest car in the fleet. This is our 993 911 Turbo. It's a gift that Cam got for his dad, which, if you ask me, is fucking awesome. What an amazing gift. Yeah. Oh. And just listen to the sound of the handles. Ready? And for all you classic Porsche lovers, just get a load of this. The fur, the seats, the steering wheel, the manual gearbox, the whale tail, the colour, the wheels, every aspect of this car is awesome. And as amazing as it is that Cam did that for his dad, I also got a really cool car for my dad in this urban SVR. When I was growing up, he always wanted a Range Rover, and I always remember him talking about how he wanted a Range Rover. So when I was actually about 20 or 21, I can't remember exactly, I got a Range Rover. It was a pretty standard one. It was all I could afford at the time. But it was surreal that he was able to kind of drive this dream car, and we shared it. You know, it made sense for us both financially. It was the right thing to do. But now we're in a position where we're able to give back, which is what means more than any of these cars could ever mean to just me or Cam. So my dad currently drives around in an urban SVR, arguably the pinnacle of a Range Rover Sport, and I actually think this is a beast. You know, the urban exhaust, the urban seats, the carbon everywhere. And what's even cooler about it is that there is an upgrade on this landing by the time we next do a video like this. And for any of you who follow my TikToks and like getting involved in Guess the Car game, let me know in the comments what you think this is. In fact, you know what? £500 to the first comment that accurately gets not just the make, because that's easy, but the model of this car. And an extra 500 if you get the colour. Can I stand? Probably not. Up next is the American beast, the F150 Raptor, imported from the USA in 2017. This, if I'm honest, is one of my favorites, especially on a sunny day with the country music, driving out in the country. And of course, everybody knows why you'd own one of these, right? And it's because I'm compensating, or at least that's what TikTok have been telling me. We actually picked this up on a trio of car collections. We picked up this. I'm like 5'9" as well, so I'm not massively tall, but we picked up the BMW M2. Problem is, I have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at now. And we picked up this. I don't really know how to explain what this is without just showing you. We have an ice cream van. Now, I don't really get why we've got this. We picked it up a couple of months back, and it served ice cream at this point. It just about drove. We got it home.
Well, I tell you, 0 to 60. See ya. Come on!
Nowadays, it's just a bag of shit, to be honest. But this was the start of our strange van collection, and it honestly got weirder. And the next van on the list was, in fact, our burger van. Now, you might be thinking, why would you need a burger van? But don't worry, because I'm also thinking that. This actually does have some utility. This will be a pretty cool idea. We're going to turn it into the dump truck, which is an idea coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And finally, van number 3 is actually one that has some utility, right? It's the TDM Gym Luton van. And this actually goes out every single day, up and down the UK, collecting gym equipment. And speaking of things that drive daily, let's check out the dailies. These are our Porsche dailies. They were cars that we've had to buy basically to get better cars from Porsche that land soon and will be in the next video. We have our Panamera Turbo e-hybrid, which is actually really, really cool. It's way too expensive. This car was like 170 grand. As I say, we didn't buy it because we wanted it for that. We bought it to get a special reveal coming soon. But actually, it is really, really cool, and it's spec'd to the max. Even got these amazing stealth monochromatic badges, which just look unbelievable. Alcantara, 780 brake. I actually like it, and it is a good daily. And the nice thing about it is that it's internal combustion, so we can fill it up with fuel. Unlike the next car, which is our Taycan Turbo S. Now this, I've got to give it its credit. It's the most refined car in the entire fleet. It's the easiest and probably the best to just drive every day. But it always runs out of battery. It's got like 20 miles in right now. That's why it's on charge. So the problem is we can't take it on long drives, which means the Panamera actually has a place in the fleet and isn't just a dumb buy like everything else here. Honestly, these two are great. We drive them the most. Can't really complain. They're Porsches. Right then, up next, the R8. It's a good job it's a wrap. This car I've had for 3 years, and I just feel like it's kind of redundant in the fleet. You know, it looks cool. The green on bronze is great. I absolutely love it. But I think it's just the amount of time I've had this car. You know, I picked this car up in 2022. It's 2025 now, and I just don't really know what it's here to do. You know, it's easy to drive. It's four-wheel drive. It's kind of fast, but nothing crazy. I feel like we need to twin turbo it or something. Let me know in the comments. Do we twin turbo the Audi R8? But enough about the Audi R8. It is time for the real supercar brands. The twin to the 812 Superfast. We picked these pair up together. The 488 Pista. But this one has a special sticker. On a warm autumn afternoon last year, Cam and I went all the way down to the Cotswold to pick up the 488 Pista and the 812 Superfast. It was an amazing day because we went on this journey where we bought Lambos, and then we were like, right, we need to grow up now, so we'll buy Ferraris. And then we realized actually we're both still kids at heart, so we decided we needed money for an SVJ. And speaking of the SVJ, that brings us to the newest, the most exciting, most expensive car that the TDM fleet has ever had. And that is our Aventador SVJ. And this thing is so damn cool. I honestly absolutely love it. I think the color of black on green, the Ben 10 spec, it just works. I just love the fact that it's so accommodating of whatever you want to do. You know, if it's dinner time, it's not a problem. You've got your plate. If it's the oven time, you've got your marshmallow cooker. If you ask me, it's quite a lot of money to pay for 3 letters that literally come as a sticker. But what's the alternative? S, SV? You know, you're always going to be wondering what it's like to have SVJ, and let's face it, it's a good investment, especially if you go for a really low mileage Spider. It's a Roadster, not a Spider. And of course that now means that that sticker on the Pista is redundant, and so it's a case of what sticker do we put on this car? And that is pretty much it for the car collection as it is right now. As always, there are cars that aren't here, and there are really exciting cars that are coming. We've got track cars, we've got race cars, we've got amazing new Porsches and other cars on the way. But even more excitingly than that, we've got a car that I guarantee you have never seen, and it arrives next week. So stay tuned for the next video, and the next time we do a driveway reveal.